Hello and welcome to Psychology in the Field. This week we're talking about the roles of women and also looking at the quote, well-behaved women seldom make history or well-behaved women rarely make history. I found a study that I thought was fascinating. It was first conducted in 1983 with college students and then again in 2014. And some of the questions looked at prevailing attitudes on gender roles in American society. So in 1983, students were asked who they thought was more likely to have a leadership role, who should be head of the household, who is more likely to do auto repairs and home repairs. They were asked the same questions again in 2014. Now, society has changed a lot. In 1983, 40% of women had a bachelor's degree. Today, actually more than half of college graduates at the bachelor's level are women. In fact, 57% of college graduates with a BA or BS are actually women. We also have more women in the workforce today. In 1983, we had 38% of women who were in the workforce. Today, it's 47%. So you would think 20 years later or more, and with all these changes, that attitudes and prevalent expectations would change as well. Surprisingly, there weren't tons of changes. When asked who's more likely to be sensitive, who is more likely to be concerned about others' feelings, in this study in 1983 and then again in 2014, students responded women. In terms of who's more equipped to be the head of a household, who is more naturally a leader, who should be in charge of repairs at home, auto repairs, home repairs, etc., students in 1983 responded men, and unfortunately students in 2014 also responded that it should be men. So it's a little concerning. There were also questions that asked about finances. So interestingly, in 1983, the response was that men should be the ones that are predominantly responsible financially for household affairs. Now in 2014, we somehow have equal opportunity, so now they think men and women are both equally responsible. So I find that interesting. So men should still be the head of the household and should be in charge, and they are more leadership oriented, but women still have to pay their fair share. So that's fascinating. Another thing that was really interesting as well is who are men more likely to participate in the household and help with, sort of domestic chores and household activities. In 1983, the response was that men are less likely to help. Actually, the data for 2014 was even more interesting because it said men were even less likely to be helpful with domestic matters and in the household. So as women, it seems like we've got a long way to go. We're working more, we're achieving higher levels of education, but attitudes in society are still stuck in the dark ages. So it sounds like you're going to have to pay your fair share, but you may not be in charge at home. So hold on to that TV clicker. Take care.